And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, it is an exciting time to be here. Um, we're happy to have this discussion tonight. For those that are tuning in from the radio station in Jamaica, Prince Data Radio, shout outs to you right around the world. For those who are watching and listening on the radio, Central Praise, in St. Kitts, Nevis, and the Lesser Antilles. We want to send our shout outs to you this evening. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It is now 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 minute to the hour. And go ahead and share this broadcast. Invite somebody to come in and watch and listen and share your views, your opinions, because we are ready to listen to them and give you our opinions, our thoughts, and we're going to have a great time. Tonight, Latoya and myself, we will be having a very, very special guest, an old friend of mine, to come on and share his views as to what sex, singleness, and Christianity means to him and how it is affecting our generation and how we can empower you to know more. So go ahead, share this broadcast. I'm going to give you all time to share the broadcast. And as we go live right here on the Entrepreneurs Prayer Breakfast Club television, you can also check us out on Roku, and you can check us out on the Now Television Network right around the world, right? We're excited tonight on this topic that the church, some churches, some pastors refuse to discuss and talk about. So leave your comments. Let me know who and who is here. Say hello. Say good evening. Go ahead and share the broadcast. Yes. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Empowerment Talk Show tonight. It's going to be juicy conversation. And Latoya is here. Y'all.
Hi, Cam.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. Do I look fresh like I've been?
Hi, Takesha. Good night. Go ahead and share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. This is a juicy topic tonight, and we are excited to be here. I'm waiting on oh, Latoya is here. So Latoya, let's dive in before our guest comes in and start the talking. I'm clear my throat. Tonight's topic is sex, singleness, and Christianity. And how are we dealing and coping? Now, first of all, let's look at sex in itself. Premarital sex, Latoya. Let's start there and work our way down, because this topic is gonna be.
Oh, my ears is ringing. Well, as we know, the Bible talks about sex before marriage, and that any man that sleeps with a woman, before they're married, he is to take her as his wife.
Mm-hmm. Preach on, preacher. The preacher is preaching tonight.
So he's supposed to be taking her as his wife. Now, you really see that much in society anymore. How many people you seen having, as the Jamaicans would say, and I buy pussy in a bag. How many people you hear saying that? But no, seriously speaking, though, the Bible talks about, sex and not having sex before marriage. And if you're going to have sex prior to marriage, then you know that you are considered binded to that person and, for life. So you might as well just get married, because that's what the Bible says we're supposed to do.
Yes, it is true. We are not we are not to have sex before marriage, premarital sex before
Yes.
marriage, right? And our guest is here. While he's loading in, we're going to hear from a man's perspective as well. So we're not alone tonight.
I'm
While
happy
he
about that.
while he gets connected. So yes, the Bible says that, but we were born and shaped in iniquity, right? So we grow up seeing these things happening around us. So we get older and we we do it. We have sex before marriage. We, like you
I,
said, we don't want puss in a bag. But now that we know the right thing to do, now that we know the right thing to do, why aren't we doing that? Why aren't we doing that? Why are we allowing, especially us women, why are we allowing ourselves to succumb to premarital sex before marriage?
well, you get out of my video. I got someone in the background. You can't come on it if you really want to talk about it.
Kamar,
But
connect
I think what it is,
your mic.
so I think what it is, Camille, is that as we are growing up, especially us coming from Jamaica, Jamaica is a very sexual society.
Mm-hmm.
So everything we do is basically considered sex. I remember having a sociology class and my teacher tried to convince us that everything we do is about sex. So he's like, if you plug the socket in a wall, that's like plugging a penis into a vagina. You go into a car, you stepping into the car is kind of like you yourself is like a penis going into a vagina stepping into, like he tried to convince us that. So we do have a sexual society. And so for that reason, as a kid growing up, you're hearing these songs. I remember growing up and hearing like, "Boy, the water running, boy, the water running." That soca song. But for me at the time as a kid, it was just the water from the pipe is running. But then as I grow
Exactly.
older, I
Mm-hmm.
now began to understand that that's not what the message was.
No,
I
ma'am.
think Kamar is muted. Kamar, if you can hear us, you're on
Kamar,
mute.
please unmute your microphone, Kamar. You have to do it from your end so we can hear you. Right? So calypso in itself, reggae in itself, there you go, Kamar. Dancehall in itself is is good, because it's our culture, it's our roots,
Right.
it's where we're from. But then also when you look at it, it's like we're following a trend then, opposed to having our own personal encounter with God so that he can change us. So we say, okay, my mom did it, my dad did it, my girlfriends are doing it, so let me just participate in it. You know what I
But you see,
mean?
that's the other part of it, it's what you call a peer pressure part, where kids are young teenagers or whatever it is, or whoever it is, are pressured into having sex because their peers are doing it. And, especially now, and I know as growing up, if you're not doing it, then you can't be a part of the gang, so to speak, or, you're not considered so grown and mature. And so peer pressure has a lot to do with it. And that's coming from like even family members, and it's coming from your friends, and you go to school, and again, as I say, you're in the bus, you're hearing it, you're walking, you're hearing it, you're sleeping, you're hearing it, you're in school, you're hearing it. So it's we have a very sexual society, so we're gonna continuously hear it anywhere we go. So I can't say it's hard for a Christian, whether male or female, to not be open to the urges that might hit them when the time comes, whenever it is. As kids, we start going through our hormonal change, and with that, you know their sexual desires as well.
Yeah, but you see,
You
the
been
thing,
listening?
here's the thing now. Here's the real issue. The real issue is that we are influenced by our friends. That's the real issue, right? We are influenced by society. We are influenced by church. We are influenced by community, by association. We're influenced. But our own individuality is somehow diffused and compressed because we first was not taught how to accept ourselves, right? And that's just my perspective on it. So sex, a sexual country, yes, everywhere sex sells. But to say that our Caribbean countries are sexual, I would disagree. Because there are some good what them call them good Christian background people in Jamaica. The older heads will kind of raise us, in the Christendom to get us solid. Not all. I think that our generation, when cartel come in now, and ladies saw things just go left field. No, left this way.
Listen, I have a commentator in the back that is killing me. So I'm muting it. Oh, I'm trying to get him on the line, but
No,
the
we
water
want to
coming.
hear the commentator as well.
But
We want to hear the commentator while Kemar try to get his camera on and get his thing up and running. So
you
we're having Kemar tonight from That's Trending, which is a video blog right here in Hartford, Connecticut, and he will be sharing his point of view on sex, singleness, and Christianity. So is premarital sex wrong? Is it
well,
wrong?
come, let's go back then. Let's go back.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you what I think Cartel did. What I think Cartel did is Cartel brought out the raw version of what it was before. Because, if you go back into the songs prior to him, like for example, the are you
If I
hearing
go
this?
back to which song?
So for example, she want the pianist, she need the pianist. Those songs. Do you
Which
know that
song
song?
that?
Who sing that song again? She want the pianist. Anyway,
No,
but with that
Kemar is
song
here.
though.
Yes,
Hi, Kamar.
yes.
But if we
Kemar
go
is
back to
here.
that song, Camille, is that we
But
see that.
you gotta remember something in a Lataya. You have to remember that soca and calypso is Trinidad, right? The other Caribbean islands. We're talking about dancehall music
Well, but
also.
that's what I'm
So
saying,
infuse
Cam.
all
With
of them.
dance, but Cam, I'm saying with dancehall, it was always there, but it was not so out there. They didn't just raw say it as it is right now. So yes, Cartel came in with that different version of it, but he made it more raw and out there versus prior to him. And
Okay, so thank you, Kemar, so much for joining us. I see you muted your phone again, your thing again. But thank you, That's Trending, for
Good
joining
night.
us.
Good night. Good night. Good night.
Good
Good night.
night. We
good
appreciate
night.
you. So tonight we'll be hearing from a man's perspective on sex, singleness, and Christianity. So Kemar, being an entertainer and the owner of a blog right here in our community, I would like to ask you this question. Do you believe that premarital sex is wrong?
I was growing up in a Christian home, so the mental information was yes, it's wrong. But I believe
Mm-hmm.
it's an acceptance of respect from both parties that makes it wrong. I feel like if you venture into another person's life with the intention not to solely commit yourself entirely, then it is wrong. But if you are just playing games and not at the stage and the mindset of being serious, then it is wrong. Because I feel
It
like
is
just
wrong.
like the churches that are corrupt are not doing the right thing, are following the footsteps of what should be followed. In and outside the church, people are so confused as what is the difference between the church and the inner society. But what about a young man that has been grown in an environment with his mother and father, and they set the right footstep for him to follow, and a young lady that is
Mhm.
grown in the right environment, mother and father? Because please know that we need both parties to play a very important role of structuring our mindset and giving us the tools we need to be women, hence men. Now, if we come together, we have two things that is very valuable. The male, female brought up say that is installing us to have that. Okay, I need to treat my woman like a lady. Okay, I need to treat my man like a man. And we're not wasting time. Stability. We need foundation. We got all the qualities that we need.
So, in other words, you're saying that the foundation of a child is
Mm-hmm.
very important to the child's next level or the
Yes.
child's life
Right.
or the child's outcome as an
Right.
adult.
Let me
Okay.
stay on this chat
So
real well.
what about now that we are adults and we have strayed away from what we have been taught growing up?
No,
Latoya, you
a
look
lot
like
of
you
the
want
time.
to say something.
No, let her go
Mm.
ahead. Let her go ahead. Let her go ahead.
Come,
No,
Lati
what I was
wanna
gonna
talk.
say is no, he makes a good point, but as coming from the Caribbean, that we don't have a lot of what they call the nuclear family, where it's just mother, father, and kids, and they're married and they live in the big house with the white picket fence. We don't have that much existing in Caribbean also, like since lately in any household, um, we don't see that right across the board much. So you'll see that the dad is there and he has his girlfriend, the mom is here and she has her boyfriend, or whatever the case may be. The kid might experience the parent changing sexual partners, are just changing partners, I should say, here and there. And so but what I think it comes down to is our socialization, and what, as Kemar said, what you instill in your child. It's kind of like a give and take. You want the best for your kid, and you put everything in them. Like you'll tell your kids, say, don't steal, and then they might go around their friends. So in your household, you socialize them to not steal, but then when they go to school and they go around friends that do that, that's a different type of socialization that is now influencing them. So they might or might not venture into that.
All right. Let me ask the question now. Now that we are adults and we are responsible for our own sins because we
Right.
passed the age of 12, is it wrong, whether you're a Christian or not, to have sex before marriage? Is it wrong?
Tamara, you want to go first?
I think that question is so. I want to say it's wrong and I want to say it's not wrong. I'm very in between with that question because I feel like, again, if I can really commit to you by really saying I'm really committed, what is the difference than a person that put on a ring that is not really committed but says they are committed on paper? So I don't believe
so
it is wrong.
so so
I
you're in
believe
between.
I believe what is wrong is false advertisement,
Yes.
false submission, false everything that is saying, "Hey, I'm ready for this," and you're not ready. Then how are you going to marry me in the church, but then you're having sex with me and someone else, and I am not aware? but because you did it in the church, you are more of a man than a person that is literally more committed outside of the church. So sex is before marriage. I disagree to a certain extent. I do believe in the Christian way. I don't take I discredit that I take anything from it, but I believe in that deep inner commitment and submission and loyalty to the point where there can be no way you can be tempted because you have been installed with defense mechanism for temptation by your dad or mother. This is where the parenting is very important. This is where you make mistakes as a child. So by the time you reach a certain age to take a woman, you already know that, listen, this is what my mom told me and my dad taught me how to deal with this situation and deal with that situation. Versus not being taught. Father is absent, mother is absent. There's no chain of command to teach you how to walk the right road. So now you don't know how to go the right road. So you follow for an company. You start following what you see on TV, what you hear in the songs,
That
like
is
Vibes
true.
Cartel. No, you hear Vibes
I
Cartel
won't
song, you
disagree.
start listening to that. But how is that?
That is true.
He's not your mentor. You're just being what we called what? Inspired by the wrong influence. And you just use that as a way to monitor or navigate your life.
And Latoya now. Latoya?
Right. So I have to agree with Kamar. I just feel like times have changed, and I do see where David said, if you said you're a Christian and you're supposed to live by the word. But I feel like the word years ago, yes, it would have been okay to say, okay, this is what we're gonna live by. To me, in my honest opinion, I feel like the married people cheat way more than single people. And that's my honest truth. No, honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. Married people, in my opinion, based on my experience, I feel like married people cheat. So, as what Kamar said, is not because you went into a church and say you go before God, make you any better than the man that decides that, okay, he's gonna commit to his woman, but they're not gonna go in a church and get married. And I do what kind of like, really not buying a pussy not a bag mentality. I agree with that. I do agree.
My belief system is that once you become a Christian, right, or any religion, because when you become a Jew, when you're in Judaism, Hinduism, you're not allowed to have sex before marriage. So Christianity developed that same concept and said they will do the same thing. And having sex before marriage is wrong from a biblical perspective. But also, you look on the negative connotations of pastors, leaders, Christians in the church who are still single, not married, and still have a relationship outside of what God has ordained and predestined for us as a people. No. Is it right? No. It is wrong. So now we are at a position where we're on this bridge and we just at the place where we are saying, all right, is it church or is it dance hall or is it party? What is it? So now our generation is basically saying we're not going to come into Christendom because of these things that we're seeing. Where is the one pastor or the one woman or the one man that is living a righteous life, right? Having sex, you're tying yourself emotionally. Let's look at that part to that particular person. And that is why women, right? Doing my life coaching, I find that more men are abused in relationships more than women. I was shocked. I am finding out that men are being emotionally abused by women because why? The women enter into relationships, they were hurt, right? And then they take that pain and they deposit it into that next man who did not enter the relationship to hurt or cause pain, but enter the relationship with better intentions for possibly a possibility of a long-term relationship.
I feel like that goes both ways though.
No, but I'm saying from my perspective and what I am experiencing in my coaching, most men that are coming to me for coaching, they are being abused by women emotionally.
So
But the men don't speak out. Kemarit
That's
uh,
here. Uno talk truth. The men them don't talk out. But the women them will voice of our opinion and we say women right and women this and women that, but the man them don't talk.
um, two things. One, she made a point about um, marriage relationship. People are cheating more than a regular relationship. This is
Mm.
somehow in the middle of that again because we men have to take responsibility for neglecting a woman.
Come on. Why you always in at the middle? Why?
Because I don't know,
Come on.
maybe because I'm trying to be balanced, because I don't want to talk from a, you know, one perspective. I'm trying to be mutual at the same time. I'm talking solely from how I see things and my experience, because experience, again, I want to make this clear, experience doesn't mean that I went through it. It's because I see somebody go through a phase and I'm like, okay, I'm not going there. Let's take that road. I don't want to go down that road because I see when he went down what happened to him. So why would I want to go down that road? And I think people should use these things of navigation in the world of this world that we're in. If we see that happen right there, why am I going to go there? You know what I'm saying? But what I realize is with the whole cheating thing that you're talking about with married people is we forget ourselves. Meaning, how can you meet me as this and then I change and you accept me to still be in love with you?
That's true.
You are an
That's true.
upbeat woman. You used to dance. You used to pour me wine. You used to cook my food. You used to make sure my steak is well cooked. You used to make sure that we do things together. You
I want
used to
to
make
see.
sure that we go shopping together. And all of a sudden, one day you have a child, and then you try to use those things as excuse, like you are not strong enough to get back to the things that you used to do. And the man, you used to bring her flowers. You used to pick her up after work. You used to open the door. You used to ask her, "Do you need water?" When you finish, all of a sudden you stop and you expect her to still feel the things that captivate her attention in the first place. No, cheating is very vulnerable because of two things. What attracts me is no longer there. So now somebody else out there is gonna entice my attraction because who I have at home, who I'm married to, is not giving that to me. No, am I right to go outside and cheat? No. But you're putting not just yourself but your partner in a vulnerable position to be taken away, but not by your attention anymore. By someone else's attention. So we have to take responsibility. Men, you have to take responsibility for neglect, no affection, no attention, not listening, not talking and trying to understand. Agree to disagree. Compromise, very important. Not trying to rule or govern the relationship, but compromise. And if you're not doing these things and you wonder why she stepped out, is because you put her in a position where she start feeling uncomfortable because this is not how she met you. Women are simple to deal with. If you start the relationship like an idiot, just saying, she gonna love you as an idiot. If you start the relationship as a man, she are gonna love you as a man. If you
that's
start
true.
the relationship kind, you can't get mean. If you start mean, chances are she will work on the meanness and accept you for who you are. It's just what it is. She just gonna probably say, all right, in mean, we're gonna be independent, but me still love him. The point is, anyway you start it, you have to continue it. If you change something, she is going to realize that women are very, very, very observant. Very observant, and men are very observant when it comes to especially the things that make him blood run cold and him say, wow, honey, did you just do that? You kiss me behind my ears and you stop do that? Really? You don't do that.
Okay, so the comments are coming in. Jay Dennis says, but why step out? Why not just end it before hurting your spouse?
That is true.
People don't step out because they might have kids, they might have assets, and a lot of people are staying together because of their assets. Really, most of the time it's because of the assets. It's not so much the kids
Come
anymore.
talk about the money,
I
Lata. You
know,
talk about the
I
money,
know,
the assets.
I know of couples that really do not want to be with each other, and they're he's with somebody else, she's with somebody else, but then they stay together because they say it's gonna cost them more to have a divorce than to stay together. So a lot of people are staying together because they don't want to split the asset.
Selfish.
Or well, it is selfishness. Yes, I must agree it is selfishness. And I do tell people it's better for me, I would prefer to start over fresh than to
I
stay
don't
in a
think that I
relationship.
disagree. I disagree. I
Really?
don't
I
think it's
disagree too.
selfishness. I
Let me
think
hear
that
what
is
you think they should
economical.
say. What would you think they should? Do you think they should step out, or do you
No,
I
think
don't
they
here's
think
should?
what
they
I'm
should step
saying.
out. I
If you
think they
have,
should separate.
if you're in a relationship, if you're in a relationship and you're not married and you have assets together, I believe that you should divide them and go your ways. But if you're married, I believe you should first seek counsel, get help.
Yeah,
Then
definitely.
if the help doesn't work and the man is found in adultery and the woman is found in adultery, then you go your separate ways.
Um,
Sometimes
That's
it's not
my
even a
belief.
it
no.
did say to do us part. So how does it work?
No, but
Um,
it okay, man. Make we talk about the Bible now. Come, you have it like Remember, the Word of God also says that it is better when you find a man or a woman in adultery that you're to divorce the person. Is biblical. It's in the book of Matthew. It's silent. Find that scripture for me. It is in the book of Matthew. So you can divorce based on the fact that you were caught in adultery. And then Paul go back in Corinthians and said it is better to marry than to burn. But you are right. People get into marriages and then they lose the law of attraction.
let me tell you why people get into it.
What they call it again? What they call it, Kemar? The honeymoon phase is over. You
No,
lose that.
that's what I was gonna say. A lot of people are go into marriage for the day. And once the day is over, the marriage is practically over. Now, seriously, a lot of people, that's why I see now a lot of couples are, I know of couple couples that were supposed to get married this year and they're putting off the entire wedding until next year, assuming that COVID is gonna go out because of whatever reason. And I'm saying to them, why not go to City Hall and get married? I mean, are you married for the day? Or are you marrying because you actually love the person and want to spend
No,
the rest of your life
Latoya,
with?
you're missing the point. The bride wants to have memories.
No,
Please.
I'm not saying have your memories, but if I love you and we are said we're gonna be committed to each other, we supposed to can go down to City Hall and get married today, right now, if we're allowed to, if they'll take us, and then next year we have our big celebration, if it's even possible. So that's the thing. A lot of people get married, especially the women, get dressed up and married for the day. And so, as what Kamar said, you no longer do the things that you were supposed to do because before that, you're doing everything. You're flipping over backwards just because, for the day. And then your day come, and once, as your day passes, things get twinkled and twinkled and twinkled. And the reason why I say that I think a lot of married couples cheat is just, as I said, for experience. I find that I have more married men trying to court me than single men. And that's just the simple truth. And it's not just me. I have girlfriends that do the
Really?
same thing. And I do have male friends that are out there with married women as well. It
True.
happens. So then we go back to Christianity now. If you're not ready or if you're doing it just for the day, why bother get married? Then might as well you go and enjoy your life at the back.
My thing is, we know that God created sex, right? He put
Right.
Adam and Eve
Powerful.
together. It's something that God created. Adam
Right.
and Eve. No, it is a part of God's creation that we are to enjoy. Women are to multiply and produce.
Right.
Thank you, Silent. So now that we know the truth, why do we continuously live in the things that make us unhappy? Why do we constantly do the things that make us unhappy? What is it that causes single women, single men, or married men, married women to step outside and have infidelity in their relationships and they know the right thing? I'm talking about people who know the right thing.
one of the number one reason I think is um, show me a company, tell you who you are. I think that if you're married and committed, you should not be having single friends. I'm sorry, because a single person will not
Hey,
want to
wait, wait, wait,
really.
wait, 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 wait,
I feel
wait.
like
Say that again.
if you're married,
I
or ring on your
don't
finger,
agree.
I don't feel like you should have much single friends. I don't think it is right because that single person. Let's do the maths. Let's stop for a second because this is gonna get fun.
Okay,
You ready?
Right?
me
A
ready.
woman is gonna be friend with a man that she doesn't find attractive in no form of way. Maybe it's his mindset. Maybe it's his personality. Maybe it's the way he's dressed, the way he smells, the way he articulates himself in some form or some sense. She's attracted to him in some way. Nobody is gonna be friends with someone that they just don't like. Somebody doesn't gonna be friend with one girl who does not like no like that. That don't make sense. And
Right.
she gonna be friend with a guy who she not like no that. That don't make sense. So I believe that is if you're married, stay within your category. I'm not saying you have to walk around and look for married couple. Things happen naturally. God will set it that way. There. Have people that are in relationship, committed, because when you have issues in your married life, just like a person, you can relate. Because you guys are both committed people, and you can say, "Yeah, I'm go through that," and you can give more of a togetherness advice versus, "No, man, left him. You know, see why I'm by myself. I don't need that. I'm by myself. I'm single. I don't need that." I
Okay,
just don't believe in that concept, and it leads you to sometimes know who you're going to be cheated on with. The person come in
okay.
your
So we have
house.
a comment from Michelle. Michelle says, married friends can be very influential also.
Wow. You
That is
see
true.
that. So this is why I said, "Show me your friends, tell you are." Why am I going to be in a company that is not fitting for my, personality or persona or what I'm trying to live? If me and my woman decide to come into me and meet somebody that is not where we see they're supposed to be structured, then we take ourselves out of that situation and we move on. They're not where we need to be. They're swingers now.
So what what
All
what if
right.
your woman
Hold on,
enjoys
hold on,
the
hold
other
on.
female's company
Comment,
and don't want to leave?
comment, comment. The conversation here, Juicy. Comment. Marriage
Marriage has
has
lost its
lost
value.
its value based on being commercialized. Marriage was never meant to be worldly in any religion. If we actually court someone based on logics and not fairy tale intuition, we'll make better choices. Do you guys agree with J. Dennis?
I
Yeah,
totally
make
agree with
realistic
that.
decision and not emotional decision. If that's what it means, yes. Realistic decision means what makes sense and not what me feel. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Realistic.
yeah, I'm big on living in your reality and not just what you feel. Like
Yes.
because I love
And
you, I'm gonna approach you.
on people, the first, Les Brown said something, and Lisa Nichols said the same thing, that the first 5 people that you surround yourself with will tell how far you will get in life. So if you have 5 friends and the 5 of them broke and not have no money, just guarantee yourself that you're going to do the same thing because they're around you, right? Either
Right.
they're
Circle of association.
Yeah.
exactly. Silence
I love
says,
that from a
when
very
the
close friend of
is
mine.
asking a question, I believe, or is it a question within a comment? When does a married individual take accountability for their choice to indulge in adulterous behavior? Hmm. When does a married individual take accountability for their choice to indulge in
You
adulterous
Most
see,
time
behavior?
when they're caught,
you
then take accountability.
know, I believe you see what we're forgetting here, is that we are flesh. We are human beings. Or
Exactly.
we
Mm-hmm.
are going to want of things. We are going to see things that's going to attract us, things that's going to lower us. I remember someone saying to me that, you know, you go always meet one man that look better, smell better, probably have bigger size, in that area, whatever the case may be, you can always find somebody that is better than him. But then you have to come back and remember why you entered into this marriage or into this relationship with this person. you have to come back to that part and just, kind of take it back and say, all right, I entered this for this reason and I love you for this reason. And this is why I'm going to continue loving you. And because the man have more money or him have this or him have that, that cannot lure me away from it. So we have to remember that we are flesh and our flesh do wanting of things sometimes. So,
But
going
as
back to what Tamara
Christians,
said,
Latoya, as Christians, we are taught that we are to crucify the flesh, which is keep your flesh under subjection, which means that you cannot control yourself then as a person. Your sexual desires overrule you at all times.
it's
And
not,
if
no,
you're,
no, no,
if
it's
you're
not.
married, if you're single and you cannot control your body, you have a problem and you need a life coach.
Sometimes,
Well,
You need a
I'm
coach.
all right.
but not all. Yeah, you need a
But
life
it's
coach.
exactly, it's not all the time that you can control your urge, and it's not just
Yes,
sexual. Just think about, Camille. You can't tell me. All right, for example, Metabum.
I think there's a lot to do with
Me
your
and Derek
mindset.
is no friend.
it,
Like
it
Derek is
does.
not my friend. But there are days that I just crave dairy and I want dairy, and I know what the outcome is going to be
You
afterwards. But
crave
you
dairy,
just tend.
and you just want dairy.
I just want
Dairy, you
dairy,
want
and that's what you want dairy,
dairy. You
and that's
sure?
what and
You
that's what
sure?
I want, and that's what I go for. I
I
go
love
for
that
dairy, and I know
example.
what the repercussion is going to be. But you see, is am I willing to deal with that repercussion? That's what it will. All right, make me either say, okay, do I really want to go have dairy now? I know that all right, I'm gonna be sick after once I have dairy.
Latoya, let's not be realistic as women. Who is going to be with a man that you're not attracted to? No woman is going to do that.
There are a lot of women be with men that they're not attracted to because them in needs of what like and want.
There has to be something that attracts a woman to a man, whether it is his penis, excuse me, whether it is his money, whether it's his car, him nose could have big from ears to go ear so. Something attract the woman
Yeah,
to the
she
man,
not just like
and
big
something
nose.
attract the man to
You're
the
right.
woman.
Just like the swag.
Understand? So let us be realistic when we're talking about these things. When you're single and you are a Christian and you're in church, my belief and what Word of God says, don't have no sex. Wait till you get married.
Well,
Because
ladies, I'm going.
the minute that you give your soul away to somebody, you find yourself when you and the person break up, I saw your daddy and reminisce. Oh, I miss him. Oh my God. And you cry, you depressed, you up everything kind of press. Your business stop, your life stop, everything stops because your soul, you give a part of your soul away to that man or that woman. It's vice versa. So I believe that if you're not ready to settle down and commit at our age at 30, 35, 40, you should know what you want.
True. That is true.
I
Know what
You
you
know,
believe
want. 30, 35, 40, you should know what you want. And you should know what is best for you in
you know,
reality.
I believe
Yes,
that
Kemar.
we have a thing that I'm going to just capitalize on, just to make both of us and all of our minds settled.
Mm-hmm.
It is called relationship crime, and the crime of heartbreaks and misused and advantage taken, and this is all resulting in one thing: broken homes. How you were raised. At the end of the day, if you have how many people in this world, a broken home, we can do the statistics, and we're gonna see that the result of a young lady grow up with her mother and her father is structured different than a young lady that is grow up single parent. We need to nurture our future generation with both parents. So I would advise, if the relationship is not working out with whoever you have a child with, remember first your parents. And if you move on, delegate, dictate that parent type of um, example and role model. Because at the end of the day, we sometimes we're not perfect and we make decisions and we go down the wrong path and we're just human beings. But at the end of the day, We're parents. So if your son live in Hong Kong, bring him next year. No matter what it takes, he needs his dad. He needs his mother. He needs both of you guys to put aside this thing we want to call me vex with you. You break my heart. You have to learn to put these things aside and do one of the most important things that I've learned. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful way to say I love you. Forgiveness is the only word that says I love you but doesn't spell I love you. Because if you learn to forgive, a longer and a better life you will live.
It's true.
I heard that in a song. I thought about it, and it makes so much sense. Is when you don't forgive, you poison your heart, it poison your soul, it affect your kids, it
That's
affect the future
everything.
generation, and you have people like Donald. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is just nurture your kids and teach them the way
But
because
Kamar, you also have
that's
to
it.
look on the machete as being double-edged. Look on the sword as being double-edged. Because a lot of times, whether you're Christian or not, whether you're saved or not saved, most of us were not raised in two persons, with two
That's what I'm
persons, mom and
saying.
dad at home,
The home is
right?
so
Now
important.
in today's society, you have men that are crazy and you have women that are crazy. So now you have the court system, DCF, social workers, and all these other adjectives involved into your life. That's something that you also have to look on the other side of the blade, because you have people who suffer from mental illness, which you can tune in on Wednesday night for Dynamic Health to learn more about that. You have people who suffer from bipolar disease, all different kind of things, issues that are taking place. So my thing is, you can't look on just one side. Look on both sides of it. Give us both sides of the bridge so that we can cross over. Because in reality, it is present.
I agree. I am gonna stick to it, man. If you were raised right, you're gonna be honest. You're gonna say to the person you meet that you're going in a relationship with, "Hey, I have mental disorder. I am bipolar a little bit. I am this type of person. I'm that type of person." If you are raised to be honest, if you are raised to be the true you, then you won't have pretenders. You will
That
have
is true.
people being their true self. Speak it as it is, and you won't have things called surprises, misled, used, and abused, taken advantage of, and looking for stupid things like vanity, shoes, car, watch. Oh, me not gonna drink spring water, me gonna drink smart water because of that in drink. These things are nonsensical. How do you sit down and calculate life and balance it on these? These things are not. These things don't make no sense.
Because it go back again to your experiences. No, I get what you're saying in a camera, but it go back to your experiences and again your socialization and what is it that you're bringing yourself around. So to me, it's like sometimes it yes, as parents, we have to instill certain type of values in our kids. We have to make sure that that's done. But then when they go outside, you don't know what they're experiencing. You can
I
control that to a
disagree
certain
again.
point.
I
Yeah,
No,
disagree
you're
again.
right. That's why. All right. Personal
up to a
experience.
certain point you can control it, but you cannot
If
100% control what
you,
they
well, then
experience.
Personal
again, everybody'
experience.
personality is
Personal
different. You're
experience.
right.
Both of
You're
you.
right. You're right.
Hold on, Kima. Both of you guys are right. Here's why I'm
He's
gonna
right.
say that.
She's right.
When I was growing up, my father, being a police officer back home in Jamaica, is strict. When I migrated here to the United States, my cousins decided to take me to the club for the first time. I was like 21. So I was weird. I was a nerd because I don't know anything about clubs. But as life transitioned and life changed, I realized that it wasn't the place for me. I didn't fit in. So what did I do? I started to go back to my roots of what my father taught me. But I strayed for a while. You understand what
That's
I'm
what I'm
saying? So
saying.
that's what
Yes.
became my, but I went back to my roots. So you both both are right. It's just that life throws us all wrenches and
Exactly, different directions. And so
all
you just
information.
never know. You know, someone asked me a question the other day, and and I thought about it, and I can't say what the question was, but I thought about it, and I said, I change, like whatever I want changes as I grow older. My, you know, what I prefer now is not what I preferred then. You know, and again, it goes through socialization, it goes through experiences. I go back to my core values as the, you know, what my parents taught me, what I learned in the church. I go back through all of them stuff, but at the same time, it's just like, you know, in this moment, in this time, if I used to like smart water, then now I said no, I want Fiji water because this is supposed to be the purest of the purest. You know, this is what
Facts.
it's supposed to be. So I think over time things change. And what Christy, if I should go back to what Christopher said earlier, and you put it on the comment here, it says marriages tend to be business transactions. So yes, you grew up in your family with your mother and your father, and assuming that this is a nice nuclear family, and you see how your father go out and care about the money, come and give it to your mother and all of them stuff there. But now you find that more females are in the workforce. So we're either contributing 50-50 or 70-30, whatever the case may be, whatever the dynamic of your relationship is. But you see that a lot of people are doing it because they say, all right, it's better if we come together and save righteous and we can attain more than do it separately, which is true. And you see that
One of the
especially in
things that we
American
don't do,
society.
one of the things that we don't do when we're getting into relationships is we don't have a questionnaire. We don't ask questions. We just me sick him or me like him and we just go to bed.
True.
Yeah, that's what we
Yeah.
do. We see, you know, we don't sit down and say, what are your goals? What is it that you're bringing to the table?
Stop.
And then speak on that.
I have a
Speak on
question.
that. Yes.
Imagine I just like you can continue. I just want to ask this question and you go on. Imagine meeting someone and you ask
Yeah.
them what are their goals and they don't have any. Anyways, move on.
And they don't continue the conversation after that. If they don't have any goals, you move on. You move on. If no, you want me next weekend or next 2 or 3 months from now, why should I even sit down and continue to have a conversation with him?
Because you
Because
like
if not
him.
gonna,
Him be
if not,
cute. Hey,
when cuteness
him
don't go
him bold
nowhere for
headed, him eyes brown, him drive
that.
nice car. He can take care of you, but he just not a good. Right now. 5, 10 years from now, you know where am I gonna.
All right. Let me not be so ignorant. No,
Okay.
I would probably ask more questions though, and kind of try
You
to
know,
dive into get him to change his mindset on certain things. Now, let me not be
That's
harsh
not even
and
your.
say I
You
will
see
walk
that?
away.
What you're doing is not even your job. Every man you meet is supposed to already have a plan. If he doesn't have a
come
plan,
now.
you're already
Talk to me,
lost.
my friend.
You're already lost. A man needs a woman, but here's the secret: he's supposed to have a plan. He's supposed to present his plan to his woman, which is the queen. She takes that plan and she turns it in a bigger than what he could ever turn it into. The fact is just to have a plan. People don't understand enough. Man are givers, woman are receivers. You give her your sperm, she have a baby. You give her a house, she make it into a home. So if you give her an idea, what do you think she ever do with it? She gonna turn that idea into something you've never even dreamed. So a man without a plan or idea, where is he going? I would like to
And
see where
that's
does
what
that
I'm
go.
saying, that that's why pre-conversations is important to have before getting into anything. You should spiritually discern the person first before you even have a conversation. Because a lot of people, we like, my dad called them dirty tiny secrets. We like to have them, right? And so we like to keep those to ourselves because that's our lane, that's our privacy, as we call it, and we don't want anyone to know the real us. And then as you go through the relationship, the real you comes out and the person run. because you were
Right.
not authentic in the beginning. And I believe that authenticity is missing in today's society. We're hiding behind clothes. Women are hiding behind makeup. Honestly, I see some women on Facebook and I'm like, Lord have mercy. We're hiding behind makeup. We're hiding ourselves, our inner beauty based on what society has taught us. But if we can get back to who God has called us to be and do what He has called us to do, I believe the earth will be a better place.
That
Life,
is
society
true.
will be a better place if we can just be you, and the fact that you're beautiful and you're created to do something great in the earth. You don't have to be a multi-millionaire to be comfortable. You don't have to be this big shot person to have access. Access is given to those who present themselves and put themselves in the position to get the access. So right before we go, Latoya usually is finished within 30 minutes, but tonight Latoya is like,
I know.
let's
We're like, okay, let's wrap up.
some Kamar for stopping by. We appreciate you. That's trending. We talked about years ago. This blog you guys see happening. Him and I sat in a room and we talked about it years ago before anything even happened. And to
Wow.
see it happening is awesome. To see it happening
Congratulations.
is awesome, right?
A
It's
man
And
with
amazing
a
that's
how you
trending.
plan.
set up.
Shout out to you. You can get onto the blog, reach out to him on That's Trending on Facebook and YouTube to get your music out there. He does the dancehall side. I stay on the gospel side, but him still I'm a friend. Yeah.
Um, a little more information. It's more like, yes, it's dancehall because guess what? Sometimes, dancehall is not really to me a bad thing. I think it depends on how it is used. Because you still
Yeah.
have people within the dancehall that's grown up in Christian homes and they know the right from wrong subconsciously. So the platform is really for entrepreneurs and business people and talents. And we do have people that are not in the dancehall on there, and it's just a whole vibe of bringing people to the forefront from our community and culture that's in the United States to come on the platform and do an interview and let the outside public know that, hey, I sell bags and I design them myself. I do music and I'm trying to reach here and there. So it's really a versatile platform, which is dancehall based for the beginning of it, but we're more open to the general public in any way and any sense.
Okay, so how
Awesome.
can people
That's
find you?
trending.
Huh?
How can people find you?
So That's Trending is easy to find. It's DATZ Trending, just like how it's pronounced and spelled. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're everywhere that you can think of, every social media platform. And once you reach out to us, whatever you need to get done in terms of entertainment or within yourself, putting yourself out there you could, whatever you do, you could be a blogger, just like her. You could come on our show and tell people, this is what I do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm letting people, this is what I do. It's just an information um, business that you can put out to the public so they can follow you and stay trending. The word trending can never get old. Right now, her show is trending. It's trending right now. You know? So how can you get rid of the word trending? So that show is right now trending. So that's where the name come from. Anything current, anything happening now.
All
Yeah.
right. Thank you so much, Kamar. And I do follow some of the blogs on Instagram when the Shima is on. Even if I'm in my office working, I'm taking a peek. So the shows are very interesting to see the talents in the community come out. Jay Dennis. So tonight we are grateful for you being here and sharing your thoughts. People enjoy you talking. See how the men, the man, Lataya, the man them come out tonight.
Yes.
So shout outs to Prince Data Radio right now. I know he's logged us off already. Live in Kingston, Jamaica. Thank you so much to the radio station Central Praise in St. Kitts and Canada and the United Kingdom. We appreciate you all. Those who are watching in Africa tomorrow, we want to say shout outs to you all on the radio station. If you want to learn more about the Entrepreneur Prayer Breakfast Club, go right ahead and tune in each and every single day. We have something happening. At 8 a.m. we have tea time with Silent Takesha Taylor. On Wednesday afternoons we have chill. So, you get
Silent,
your
big up
grub on,
yourself.
learn how to cook. Takesha teaches you that. Um, and then in the evenings we have Dynamic Health with Miss Vonda. And in the morning, Saturday mornings, we have live from Kingston, Jamaica, Mr. Gary Parrish himself, where he teaches you about motivation and how to motivate yourself as an entrepreneur, how to get up and get going. And then in the night at Central Standard Time, hey Toshiba, right there, right here again, we have none other than Miss Brooke Belly, who just joined us from Mississippi. She talks about proper customer service and why it is important as entrepreneurs and business owners. So the Entrepreneur Prayer Breakfast Club also have our nation box is open. We go out, we feed the homeless, and we do provide supplies to the children who suffer from HIV and AIDS. So if you would like to donate, you could go to our website, www.epbreakfastclub.com. All right. Or you could inbox Latoya if you're looking to save your money, how to do your financial savings, your all those things. Now go 1,000, stop shopping, stop buying flowers. No, let me stop. See, inbox Latoya and schedule your appointment to help you save your money. And if you're looking for a life coach, you can inbox as well and schedule a time with me. Right? So, hey, Miss Velma, thank you. Tonight, our topic was sex, singleness, and Christianity, and we have been on for 1 hour. Tune in next week. We're going to have Stephen Mathurin, a good old friend of mine. He's coming on all the way from St. Lucia to give his views on sex, singleness, and Christianity. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. And to you, Latoya.
I just want to say this was a good topic, and it's always a good topic, and it's kind of like the topic. Once we start hitting that, that's where we have kind of like the most views, and everyone wants to comment. And Kemar, it was really nice meeting you
Nice meeting you
tonight.
too.
You gave us a different perspective tonight, which I really appreciate. And we look forward to doing more stuff like this. So thank you.
Definitely,
All
definitely.
right. Tamara, do you have anything else to share with us? What do you have upcoming for this week?
Um, for my upcoming for this week in general,
Yes.
I'm gonna pray for everyone in the world.
That's a good and great thought.
If
Great
I had
action.
to leave with anyone, I'm gonna ask a question that this is what I love about our interview, and that the host Shima does. We had a question on set, and I'm gonna ask you guys this question before I go. Um, if you're in a room full of people and you're the smartest person in the room, are you in the right room or the wrong room?
If you're in a room full of people and you're
And
the
you're the
smartest person
smartest
in the room,
person, are you in the right room or the wrong room?
I am in the right room.
Okay, what do you say?
I think I'm in the right room.
All right,
For
so
me,
ladies, as a man, I'm very happy to say that you are wrong. Not because I feel like you guys are wrong, but because you guys are going to learn why you're in the wrong room.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me educate you and leave you with a little word of wisdom. If
Mm-hmm.
you're the smartest person in the room, everyone is going to be taken from you. You're not going to learn anything. You're only going to be
Mm-hmm.
giving, 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 giving. Losing, 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 losing. Therefore, everyone is going to just take from you. You're not going to, you need to surround yourself with people that you can learn from versus just people that are taken from you. I hope that was
I
informative.
disagree.
No,
I
no, no.
disagree
Tell me why.
because because if I'm the smartest person in the room, I should also have space in me to a capacity in me to learn something from someone else.
So you're
No
telling me
one
you're in a room
is
with
the
five
smartest
people.
person.
You're telling me you're in a room with five people. You're the smartest person in the room, and you want these four people to just take from you, all just take everything from you,
I
knowledge,
was looking on
wisdom.
the
What are you learning
I
from them?
was looking on the point that I could learn something from them
From what?
because I've been in that position where I'm
So
in
you're
the
gonna
room
give,
with
give,
people
give,
who
give, which is fine. So what are you learning? Just to give?
no, they you can put stuff out there that they can have an opinion on
But
that you've
how
never
are
thought
you going
about.
to the next level?
No, but you're going to the next level because all right, it's not everything that I know, Kemar. I could be the smartest person and not still not know everything. But then I could talk to the man on the street and share a topic with him, and then he just give me a whole different wisdom on
Then
it.
you're not the smartest person in the room. I
Well,
asked you the
well,
question. Listen to the question, Keely. If you're in a room and you're the smartest person in the room, that means there's no one in that room smarter than you know. You are the smartest person in the room. There's nothing you're learning from somebody if you're above
I don't believe
everyone.
anyone is
If
the
you're
smartest
above
person.
everyone, not because they are dumb, but because you're more advanced. What are
That's a
you
better
gain?
word.
Then, if all right, you just said it just now, Nish. And you know what you said just now? You say if you surround yourself with people who are not going away, just know say you're not going away. So if you surround yourself with people that you're smarter than them, where are you going? That doesn't make any sense. You're not going anywhere. I'm not saying you cannot have people that you can teach and you cannot be a leader. I am saying if you're in a room and you're the smartest person in that room, all you're going to do is being drained. If you're in a relationship and you're the only one giving this person love, all you're going to get is heartbreak. You're going to be drained, you're going to get tired, and you're going to do what we're all sitting here preaching not to cheat. So
I
let's
feel
go
like
back
that
again.
question don't have a right and a wrong answer. To be honest
It
with
has
you,
a right answer because you
I don't
have
think
to
it has
be
a right and
able.
a wrong
Right.
answer.
Remember, you're
We're
thinking
gonna
about
come
it in a
to this
general
topic,
space. I am talking about a
and
room. You're thinking about it. No, me in a life, and we can teach a person. Me say in a room. In a room. Meaning, this is your circle of association. You have 5 friends, and you make 6. And all of them friend away you have. Them are croft, one a thief, one do this, one do that, one do this. And you're the smartest person out of the bunch. Are you going to still be the smartest person, or one day you're going to become a croft? Tell me. Just answer the question and me shut it down. Will you still be smart, or will you think that the influence of 5 other people will affect your life?
the people around you do affect you. Yes, I
So
agree.
if
But
you
you can
make,
also, but you can also affect them
you're
because
telling
I've
me
been in
it's a
that position
majority in a
where
room in this situation. Majority
my
doesn't what?
lifestyle affect them.
So
Majority
majority doesn't what?
doesn't necessarily have to rule. That's why I said there is no right and wrong answer to that question.
Well,
There
that's it.
is
Then we
really
have
no
learned
right and
something
wrong answer.
tonight from your perspective, and that's why it's good to accept different perspective.
You
But
know,
I will agree to disagree and compromise because that's what gentlemen do. I don't have to win. It's not about winning. It's not about who come out on top. It's about agree to
You're
disagree,
right. You're right.
compromise, and
Respectfully
understand
agree to
and
disagree. You're
respecting
right.
other people's
Yeah,
perspective.
you're right.
yes, yes. Thank you so much. That's
You're
trending. We
welcome,
Well,
Miss
appreciate
Love.
it.
it seems
And
like we
we
need
look
to have
forward to the
another
next
conversation with that
conversation.
trending going forward. We're gonna need you back. Once we're done with this topic, we're gonna need you to continue
Yep.
this.
Anish know
It's
how to reach me.
All right.
All
Thank
right,
you
guys.
all
Thank you
right
for
around
having
the
me.
world for
Appreciate
tuning
it.
in. I am Camille Onish Ismail, the life coach that helps to touch one life at a time. You guys have a wonderful night. And Latoya and I really, really, really appreciate you all tuning in every week. We're so excited every time we get here. And we appreciate it. So see you all in the morning at 8 a.m. for tea time with
Amen.
Takesha Taylor. Have a great night.
Good
Bye
night.
bye.
Bye.